How's it going, Denise? In this first video, I'm going to go over the multifamilyutility.com website. I reviewed the site at a high level, looked at a few things, saw a few areas of opportunity, and jotted down some notes here so that I can kind of stay on track. So you'll see me during the video kind of looking down to my notes. So the first thing, from your message, I understand you want to go after multifamily utility related phrases and RUBS billing related phrases. So I thought that was kind of funny about the barbecue and the massage parlors, but I made sure that was helpful because I was able to look at the most relevant terms. So first thing I noticed, you're already ranking. This website specifically is already ranking really well for multifamily utility and multifamily utility company. From what I saw, you're ranking number one, and that's a good idea because, or I guess your branding strategy behind that. I'm not sure if this was planned. Is that those are the target keywords, and that's the name of your company. So you're definitely getting some benefit in that regard. From my review of the keywords, and I will pull up the spreadsheet here. From what I saw, there's a lot of opportunity for California related phrases. So what I did here is basically take all of the phrases that you're ranking from position 7 to position 30. So on Google, that would be from the bottom of page 1 to the bottom of page 3. And I like to call these your low-hanging fruit opportunities that with a little bit of on-page SEO, a little bit of link building, there's definitely good potential that you can push these rankings up to the middle of page 1 and preferably the top of page 1. So I did see that of these, California submeters had by far the most search volume, more than 3 times any other phrases in this list. And I saw for this particular phrase and then several other phrases, your California directory page is ranking. And it makes sense because if I saw correctly, you're headquartered in San Diego. But I think kind of just a refresh of that page and considering some of these phrases that like California submeters, even RUBS utility, you're ranking well for that on your California page. I think it would definitely be a good idea to review that page, do some on-page SEO, but also start building links to that page so that you can start ranking for some of these phrases. Other than that, RUBS utility, I did see phrases with that several times in this list here. But I think we're looking at keywords. I think these would be the best to go after. And of course, I would need your input on which of these phrases would be the most relevant to the services and would lead to the most optimal results when it comes to conversions. So I will share this with you. This will be one of the files I share with you. I do think that's a great way to start with your keyword optimization and targeting strategy. Now, when I looked at the on page of the website, not a lot of areas of opportunity here. You're already kind of the site is cleaned up as far as the typical issues like with title tags, meta descriptions, broken links, and so on. I did see an area of opportunity word alt tags, and if you're not familiar with alt tags, those are basically targeted or meant for people who are visually impaired who may be looking at your website and they wouldn't be able to see the image, but that alt tag behind the image would be a way for them to understand what's in the image that's being shown. And that's just one of the things that Google looks at on a website for user friendliness, and anything you can do to make your website more user friendly, whether that's adding alt tags, making sure your site speed loads quickly, making sure your website is mobile friendly. Those are things that can really help your overall usability for the website. Now, from an SEO perspective, alt tags are also a great place to place your prominent key phrases. So, what I would do for each page where you're missing an alt tag, use that as an opportunity to add the target keyword for that page. So that's really what I saw, really the biggest thing I saw with your on page, kind of the gap where those missing alt tags. Now, other than alt tags for your own page. And this is something we'll have to discuss, but for your content strategy. So first thing, it's great that you all are blogging regularly. I see you're blogging at least several times a month. What I didn't see is, let me move this out the way here. I really didn't see in these blogs where you're linking back to your services pages. I did see that you're linking to other blog pages, which is great. But I really didn't see anything that's linking back to your services pages. So typically, how you would want to do this, and it looks like you already got to start, is have these different categories. I call them silos for your content. So these are different themes that you're going to blog about, and each of these themes should tie back to the services page or the markets page. We should determine other services, of the markets, of the products, which are maybe the top 5 priority. Build different categories for that's themed to those services, markets, or products, and then create blog content that links back to those pages. This makes your link building later more efficient, where you can build a link to a blog page, and if it's linked to the other pages in that category, all of those pages would receive some SEO benefit from that backlink. So that's one big area of opportunity there. And then overall, yeah, I think the interlinking here is good. But again, just want to make sure that we have a strategy on how we're doing that and just not linking to any blog article. Okay. Other than that, switching over to the off-page SEO. So that's mainly going to be link building for this website. And so what I did, Denise, let me zoom in here a bit. I compared the multifamily utility website with StarNick, Cal Submeter, Duxo, and I guess it's CREF Cola. And those may not be necessarily direct competitors of you, but I do see that your website and these websites are competing for some of the same keywords in Google. And so what I'm really looking for here, Denise, kind of just at this initial assessment, is looking at your website's domain rating compared to the others. So you can see here, StarNick is more than double. Cal Submeter is actually under yours. Duxo, more than double, and Cref Cola is actually higher. So domain rating is pretty much a metric that tells you how much authority your website has. And when your domain rating is higher than the site you're going against for keywords, it's going to be easier for you to rank. You can almost think about domain rating as high authority, how much authority your website has, and how much trust it has with Google. So you'll see websites like CNN, Forbes, Inc.com. They have domain ratings over 90 because they're very high trustworthy websites. So if they publish a blog today, it's going to rank very quickly compared to a website that has a domain rating in the 20s or 30s. So that's one thing. So we'll build backlinks that are at least higher than this domain rating of 26, so that you can start building authority for your website, and it will be easier for you to rank for different keywords. So for the number of referring domains, this is simply the number of websites that are linking to your site. And if you're not familiar, backlinks, these are very important because they are pretty much votes of confidence for your website. So you can see here, there's a bit of a gap between your website and StarNick, a bit of a really big gap between your site and Duxo, and I'll make one comment on that here in a minute, and then a pretty substantial gap between your website and Cref Cola. Now, this again is a high-level analysis. Really the final analysis would be we figure out maybe that final list of keywords, subset of keywords, and then we see which URLs from your website are ranking for those keywords, and then we will actually take the top 3 to 5 organic listings or sites that are ranking for those keywords and do the same analysis to see kind of where the gaps are. And that way we know exactly how many backlinks we should be pointing to each ranking URL on your website, and we'll have an idea on how realistic it is to rank for a particular phrase based on the domain rating of those sites that are ranking. So if you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer. Now, moving in here to one more thing on your backlink profile. So, well, one thing, I see that you had a huge spike in traffic here during May, so that's great. There was actually a core algorithm update on Google earlier in May, so it looks like your site responded very well to that. I'm not sure what happened on the 25th of May. That's actually today, but yeah, there was a huge spike on the traffic, and you haven't really seen that level of traffic since, it looks like, since May or mid 2017. So great job there. One thing that I did see that was a little bit concerning is that your organic keywords, they are kind of, you see this graph here, they are kind of decreasing slowly over time. So we need to figure out what that is. It may be keywords that really aren't relevant or important for the business, but we do need to see why there has been a slow decline in number of keywords that the website is ranking for. Now, moving over here to the main page here, and my original point. So you'll see here on the right-hand side of all of your backlinks, 45% of those are do follow. So when we're looking at backlinks, we have two types. We have do follow and no follow. For do follow, these are links that actually pass SEO value to your site. No follow, I'm sure you can assume, is the opposite. So you need a good mix of both to keep your backlink profile natural. But I would say you have more no follow links than do follow links, which is a no-no. So ideally, we would want this ratio to be 70%, 75%, 80% do follow, no follow. That's going to be your general guideline. But for no follow, again, you still want to have a small percentage of your backlinks that are no follow. So if we were to work together, I would definitely make this a priority, getting you more do follow links. So links that actually pass link equity, SEO equity, I should say, to your website. Now, my last thing here, and this is actually more on the reputation management side of things. When I Googled the company, you have a knowledge panel. That's great. Some of the things I'm looking at, you have a low rating on Yelp, so 1.5. Your Google My Business ratings aren't great, 2.8 and 1.0. And then I actually look at the Better Business Bureau profile. Looks like you have some complaints, but the good thing is you are responding to those. So you just want to make sure that whatever is possible, that you are able to improve your ratings on these different profiles. Because let's say you make a very convincing argument on your site, someone is ready to sign up. They might just do a quick Google search to check out reviews of your company, and you don't want these types of reviews to limit your conversion rate potential with your website. So definitely not necessarily directly related to SEO, but it can definitely have an impact on what SEO can do as far as your conversions on your website. So that brings me to the end of this review, Denise. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.